Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the call. How's everybody doing? How are we all feeling? Let me go ahead and turn my camera on. Feel free to do that as well. If you guys have not seen me before, my name is Siva. Welcome to this call today, the foundation code. How is everybody feeling today? Let me know inside of the chat box. Like I said as well, feel free as well to turn on your camera so I can see those beautiful faces. Man, it's been a while since we've gotten all of the TradeHouse familia together. Man, oh man. We're going to have multiple different people here on the call speaking in front of you guys. And I'm honestly excited. I'm excited. I'm amped because it's been a while since we've done something like this, right? I know a lot of you have been eagerly waiting for this time. And I appreciate all of y'all's patience as we go into this transition. Before we get into things, for the ones that don't know who I am, my name is Siva. I've been a part of the TradeHouse community here for a little bit over 6 years. Being able to come into a space like this where I had no idea about trading at all, right? I joined from simply seeing one of my friends post about a stock, and he was like, I messaged him and he's like, hey, look, like, you can do this and you can grow your capital. And the second I heard those words, I'm like, wait a minute, I can allow my money to work for me? What? And that's how I got to meet one of the people that all of y'all know, Zachary Hogan. And being able to learn from this community has completely changed things for me. Unlike some of the individuals that you guys are going to see on the call today, they had to go through the trials and tribulations and really try to figure out what works. Right? I think Zach, Rock, Jordan, Mike, or if he can go over them learning about support and resistance, using a bunch of different indicators, right? Going through all of the different concepts, right? Even the Bart Simpson pattern, right? I saw, Rock would rock that here and there, right? All these different patterns, all these different things that every single trader would go through. But the thing that really helped me excel in this was the fact that I was able to learn from them after they essentially figured it out, right? Being able to learn from somebody that has already gone through the trials and tribulations, I think you guys can already imagine how much more shortened that could be for somebody. And honestly, what we've been working on for the last couple of weeks, man, it's going to shorten a lot of people's learning curve. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is bring up the next individual. I've seen this individual start off as a pebble inside of this industry and grow to be a rock, right? This guy is one of the sole reasons why I am who I am today. He did not know me when I first met him, but he allowed me to even come inside of his home, being able to be mentored directly and really, Rock was the one that put me on learning how to fight, right? He started taking me to his workouts at the boxing gym, and man, it was just different, right? Waking up that early and then going into the gym, it was crazy. But Rock, I appreciate you. I know the TradeHouse community wouldn't be where it's at today without you. So my brother, take it away.
All right, man. So thank you so much. How you guys doing on this amazing evening? I know that we have international people over here, and it's super, super amazing, guys. I know that we were kind of like under microscope, if you put it that way, at the whole trade house community because the last few days, the last few weeks, this entire industry went over kind of like a complete shutdown or complete change and all that. And a lot of people were asking us, what you guys doing? What you guys going to be doing in the future? And the one thing, of course, is a common for everybody, and that is serving all of you guys. Now, to give you guys a little bit of a story back in the days, how I started with the trade house and why I am literally breeding the trade house, let's say, community, and why I'm here still this day is because back in the days when I was in high school, I was dreaming of people were doing the YouTube vlogs, right? Traveling, having the money, having the experience, having that luxurious life, and I was like, man, what do I need to do in life to really change all that? Like, what would I need, like who would I need to meet in order to give me the access, the knowledge, the information to have all that material things, right? And I was thinking like in the high school daydreaming, like as I was just daydreaming, I was not paying attention what the teacher was doing on the table. But I was like, you know what? I'll find a way. And mysteriously in 2014, somebody introduced me to binary options. Now, of course, we already know that binary options are pretty much a scam, and of course, I got bamboozled for 300 euros there. But in that summer, I was like, you know what? There has to be people out there that know what they're doing, and not just throwing money at wall and hope it's gonna stick. And I kind of got lucky because in that research mode, through the common friend of mine, we found Zach. Zach was also, let's say, going really early stages into the market, but at least he showed me the first chart. And when I saw the first chart, it was just like, that's it. This is what I was searching for. And when he actually started showing me what PIP is, what trend line is, what the candlesticks are, and all that. Now, guys, you have to understand, back in 2014, there was no Zooms, there was no trading view, right? My English was not near the level that it is right now, which we always joke that my English at the beginning was kind of like a kicking can on the side curb because it sounded exactly like that. But we managed to do it, right? We didn't have the system, we didn't have the community, we didn't have the streams that we guys had for years and years now. But Zach was able to pull up hours after hours after hours into me through the Google Hangouts. I still have, if you go into Gmail on the left side, you still have those rooms there. I still have all of them there. So that's like a relic right there. But essentially, throughout the timeline, I met Mike, I met Jordan, and through the common love and obsession about trading and about getting better, figuring out what the market really is about, like what the market is doing, why the market is going up, and we all saw, of course, that we should go lower and all that, and figuring out, spending hours and hours and hours on the Zoom calls, it finally clicked. We kind of like bond like a brotherhood amongst us, and we saw that the pain, the challenges we have to go through in to figure it out led us, of course, to be a pretty solid educators. But again, you have to understand, neither of us started to trade with the vision of becoming an educator. We all had a vision to break the bonds of this financial, let's say, challenge that we are living and trying to escape the rat race essentially. And we were all managed to do that through this skill set that we now, of course, teaching you guys. And it's so amazing to see that since 2014, and now we're 11 years into this journey, we're sticking together. I'm gonna give you guys real talk now. We were challenged in the past few days because there was offers on the table that you know we were be able to, let's say, crack the brotherhood for the dollar amount, but neither of us, neither, like, we didn't even flinch because we know that what we're going to do moving forward has to be with the right attention. And essentially what Zach created for me at the beginning, that's what we wanted to extend and create for you guys. Pretty much the environment where like a regular guy that really is still daydreaming today what he needs to do, like Rock back in 2012, 2013, right? We want to give the community, give the environment, give the system, give the path to that Rock that is still daydreaming of how to become successful, how to escape the rat race, how to become the next profitable trader, essentially, right? And I'm super, super excited that we were partnering up with the community, with the people that have the heart and intention on the right place, right? And again, this is not something that we would be solely on jump into just because we want to be an educator. No, 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 no. We wanted to serve you guys. So moving forward, right? I'm bringing one guy up that once I met him, I was thinking, just trading, that's it. I don't need to like sharpen my mindset or let's say go with a tinfoil hat on. But once I start to really talk with this dude, he breaks so much of false beliefs and spill up so many down the rabbit holes information for me that completely change me as who I am and what I believe into, right? Because when he really showed me not just talking and expressing by facts, by facts, by facts, and when you realize in what type of world we're living, in what type of system we're living, you can go into the route of being like really negative towards that, or you can say, you know what, the only way I can win if I know this information, apply it, and change that system works for me. And with that, guys, I will introduce you guys kind of like the Gandalf of the trade house, almost the one and only, the legend, the myth, the almighty Mike Miles.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? Well, thank you, Rock, and everybody for being here first and foremost. It's definitely again been a journey throughout this process, even just over the past couple of weeks and even over the past 9 years, or 10 years for us at this point. Um, wild ride for sure. But with what I wanted to make sure that I wanted to express with this before we get to the nitty gritty of the details and the stuff that you'll see after I'm done is the expectations of what it is that you guys should be expecting from this. This is something that we are building from the ground up, right? We are building out the courses. We just started going live and even having to use our Telegram chat because, again, it is literally being built from the grassroots up. And what the expectation, and just even with a little history, the focus as it always should be in a platform, and just again what is our niche, our profession is trading and marketing, of course, but not marketing and trading, not marketing maybe plus trading, trading plus marketing. And even all the way back to 9 years ago, for anybody that wasn't there during that time period, was that there was just this massive uh difference in philosophy and difference in approach, even all the way back to the very beginning of a marketing side and the trader side. Do you guys have you guys experienced that before, even for you guys that are maybe even new? And there's that conundrum of trying to wrestle with what it is that we should be doing. In my opinion, and the way that I have always thought and considered this to be, is that the education itself is the thing that should naturally transition into what naturally would end up happening. If we were to assume for a moment that if you were to absolutely get to, let's say, progression, but results within trading, naturally it's going to be shared, right? It's not the other way around to where you just start writing down names on a piece of paper and just start calling everybody and then completely put trading on the wayside. That is again something that we've experienced, and even just for me over the years of doing this, there has always been that philosophical difference. And here, setting that expectation is what I really wanted to emphasize on the point with everybody here going forward, what it is and how it is that this platform is going to operate, how it's going to operate, how it is that we are going to within the community have those type of rabbit hole calls, and of course the boot camps and the trading education and the lives in the community aspect, and all of the things that we have that we've always wanted to do, that we are now going to have the again, not even just the ability but the absolute pleasure to be able to do. Let me ask you guys, for everybody here in the chat, have you guys gotten, and don't be a yes man to this question, like sincerely, honestly, genuinely, has the Trade House as a platform, as everything, the Trade House experience, has it helped you? Has it changed? Just like with what Rock was saying just a moment ago. Regardless, not just with me or it, Zach or any one of us in general, but has there been something that has been given by one of us to you guys? And if so, that right there would be the conception of what I feel this platform is about. Trading and education and financial literacy is one part and one, of course, massive, massive aspect of it. But more than that, the trade house experience is what, again, we are absolutely building up towards, and what it is that, again, we didn't, not just jumping into the next thing, but actually, again, really sitting down, game planning, and really, again, expressing how it is that we are going to be moving forward. And of course, just like and thank you guys again for all of you, that were saying yes, because it's humbling and genuinely just the most humbling way that is exactly what this experience is for. Because it's not just me, it's not just, Rock or Zach or Jordan or, any one of us, it is all of us. I have learned just as much as you guys have learned from me as well throughout this entire journey. The expectation is, again, how it is that we are going to be able to genuinely move forward, as opposed to what it is that we've potentially experienced, with the last venture, or the experiences, or the way social media perpetuates and idealizes a lot of different things, breaking those types of, you know, beliefs and mindsets towards what it is that we are doing here. And through this process, and as again, that, as I was saying, with that difference in that separation over the philosophy, over leading through trading itself, I hope you guys understand that it is not something that is going to be illustrious in the way that, again, maybe we are traditionally used to. It is something that, again, once people actually get started, once actually people get, you know, a part of this community, it is something that, again, it's literally like starting school. Even with all the way back in the beginning, it was something that we always used to say over, that this is the college, or the quote unquote university, that didn't exist until now. And that's the way that I've always considered it. And those types of calls and everything that we have always been able, the things that we have done in the past, guys, trust me when I say that there is going to be a lot more that is going to be coming. The ability and the expression that we are going to be able to have now is something that, even for all of us, it is literally a breath of fresh air. And how we're going to be able to move at the speed that we want to, and how we're going to be able to, of course, help people, change what it is that they are doing already within this niche, even if you just got started, or even if you got started 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, whatever the case may be. It is something that, here moving forward, I really want to make sure, as a community, that we are in synchronicity, that we are all in that same frequency together, over how it is that all of us are going to operate together within this space, within this community, regardless of whatever's happened in the past, and the ups and downs, the positive things, the negative things. None of that is going to matter anymore. And so, guys, the details of the things that you're about to see, with how all of this, with the way the platform is going to operate, please make sure that this is something that you guys are making sure. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. When you see what it is that is going on here, it has to be something that is going to be this next breath of fresh air for all of you guys as well, and something to genuinely be excited about. It's not necessarily the way that I wanted to put it, but I want to make sure, guys, that you know how excited we are, and how much all of the things from the past and all of those experiences are going to be able to change even more, to trade house trips, to the Zoom calls, to all of the different boot camps, to all of the different things that we're going to be doing within the Discord and the Telegram within the community. So I'll save that for the next speaker, but I'll go ahead and bring him up. And so you guys should already, of course, know who the next person is going to be. It's somebody who also came down to the trade house all the way back in 2017. 2017 or 2018 that didn't even know who we were physically. Just like how Ruck and Zach were also, already in a platform prior to the Trade House, making that leap and making that step of faith over how they were just going to come down to, Zach coming down to Texas in order for him to, of course, take that next step, just like, again, we are doing right here. So guys, again, make sure that you are taking notes on this particular part. And of course, we're going to be, answering questions in the chat later with all of that. But with that being said, Zach, go ahead and take it away, brother. The tinfoil hat.
I got to take the hat off. You already know. What's good, everybody? I'm definitely feeling blessed and grateful just for everything that we're creating right now. I'm sure that y'all have noticed we've been a little bit more visible lately. We've been popping up on social media. We were joking the other day about how we've got to see more of Jordan in the last week than than we had for a really, really long time. And I think it really just comes down to a combination of things, but really the biggest thing is that while we've been incognito and while we've been working behind the scenes, we're at a point in time now where it really is a turning point. And Mike touched on this really, really briefly, but what we've been working on, I really don't believe that y'all understand exactly how this is going to be changing the way that you integrate yourself in the community, the way that you learn about the markets, and really the visibility of you seeing more of us doing calls like this, us being more active. It really comes down to a combination of the excitement, but also the anticipation for being able to see more and more testimonies, more and more opportunity. And the reality is, I mean, we've got a global community. Like, I'm looking through the names in the chat right now. I've had the opportunity over the years to connect with so many of you. And I know that we've got people here from France and Germany and Belgium and Canada, the States. It's incredible when you really understand just how far this reaches. And I can see, I can name every country. We got England in the chat, Italy, Romania, Australia. And one thing that I think we can all relate to, whether you're from Slovenia or Poland or India or Mexico, is that we've all experienced wins. We've all experienced tough losses. We've all experienced moments of doubt where we've stared at the charts for too long. We felt that sting of a bad trade, and we've even celebrated those really nice setups. The breakthrough and what has always been at the core foundation of the TradeHouse team, it's not about going on this journey by yourself. You can be from PR, you can be from Romania, Maryland, Cyprus, Colombia, the Netherlands, right? You want to be aligned with a group of people, the TradeHouse, that share the grind, that share the vision. And more than anything, we have a system that has been shown time and time again to work. By moving forward together, it's like they say, if you want to go fast, you can go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you've got to go together. When you're going through those tough times, having a community that is behind you, that is supporting you, and that is moving beside you is ultimately going to be what empowers you to have that breakthrough. I've never felt more at home than I do when I'm meeting with the TradeHouse team. And I think it's so beautiful because even though we're in beta right now, we've really been working to create things that are going to be immersive, that are going to be enjoyable, that are going to be an active reflection of where it is that we are right now. Because the reality is, even though the platform itself is still in the early phase and it's still just a baby, the one thing that is not is the education, the experience, the collective progress that we've been able to make as a community. That's not a startup. And I think that as we move forward, the one thing that I got clapped. Thank you, Rock. The one thing that we are committed to is just delivering an enjoyable experience. throughout the bugs and the hiccups and the testing, there are going to be glitches. There are going to be things that we overlook or that maybe don't feel perfect. But it's not about perfection, right? Just like in trading, you never know which ones are going to win or which ones are going to lose. You just got to show up. You got to take the setup. You got to trust the trade. It's the same thing with this at the end of the day. We are building something from the ground up, and your participation is going to be key. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you just a quick overview of some of the things that you have access to already. Then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been building that are in the process of being rolled out. Again, we're doing this in phases. So let me go ahead real quick, share the screen, and just kind of show you one of the core parts of what it is that we have right now. Just drop a 7 in the chat if you can see. I want to make sure that the ZiNRAi Live is up in front. All right, cool. So for those of you that have been around the community for a period of time, you probably know that one of the things that we love to do is the live classes with everybody. So by being involved with the Trade House, first and foremost, we've got the streams. You have the opportunity to learn now alongside us, whether you trade Forex, stocks, whether you want to learn more about digital marketing, e-commerce. There is education for everybody. Now, since we're traders, we're of course going to focus on the markets. All right, and you can see there is a wide variety of education. We finally got all of our beautiful faces on here now. I know that the other day we were this mystery person, so shout out to the devs for getting the photos up in time for this call. But you have access to us literally every day of the week. So that is one of the first things that you have access to right now. We're in the process of running a free trial. There's still a couple of days left on that already, but the classes are recorded. There are favorite sessions and whatnot, but again, we're in beta. So we're actively refining. We're finding ways to make it better, to make it be more real time, to make things just really feel like how we've envisioned them to be. Now, outside of the classes, there's been a lot of talk and a lot of questions about what else? What else have we been building? What else have we been working on behind the scenes? I want to paint this picture because you're going to have access to this here in the next couple of weeks. But what if there was a way for you to... someone's unmuted. What if there was a way for you to be able to learn while simultaneously having a Rock, brother, I gotta ask you to stop clapping.
It's not me, brother. This was not me, but you're good.
All right, then it's Mr. Market Maker. I gotta put the stop loss protection on. So as I was saying, there are glitches. The composite man, the matrix are attacking. Nah, but seriously, what if there was a way for you to be able to have that level of accountability where as you're going through the courses, as you're plugging into the classes, of course, you have the opportunity to ask questions, but what if we could actually see exactly where you're getting stuck on, being able to test your knowledge, give you practical assignments, and ultimately give you that recognition as you elevate through your trading journey? Sounds pretty cool, right? That's going to be a part of our comprehensive course experience. We've been working actively over the last couple of weeks now on really building out a curriculum that allows us to do exactly that. We also have a exclusive community experience. Obviously, right now we're using the Telegram chat, and shout out to everybody that's been actively engaging, asking questions. But really what we want to do is we want to take it to a whole new level. And so what we've decided is that we're going to have a dedicated space for beginners, for advanced traders, and for our VIPs, so that no matter what level you're at, you have the opportunity to observe, to participate, and to engage at your own pace, getting more of a tailored, customized experience while still being able to network within the TradeHouse community. One other thing that we're doing is we're building out a smart money scanner. Now, I know there's been a lot of questions about the scanner, what it's going to look like, how it's going to work. And really, the whole goal is to be able to have it be a combination of all the concepts that you're learning in one place that's going to allow you to have just that extra set of eyes on the market. And more than anything, to be used as an additional confirmation to what it is that you're doing. Now, as I mentioned earlier, can't give you a specific timeline. We want to make sure that it is working in the way that we need it to be, but it is something that we've already started on development. So you're going to have access to that relatively shortly. And then, of course, the market ideas. You already know there are a million different opportunities happening at all different times of the day. So we do have a market ideas app that is also this close to being rolled out. So you're going to have the opportunity to see those real-time alerts, regardless of if you're able to tune into the live class or not. The team is here. We're here to help you. We're here to guide you. And more than anything, as we're moving through this startup phase, I think the most important thing to remember, just give grace, be patient, report the bugs, participate. And as we evolve, just know that we're evolving together. We're growing together. We're learning together. At the end of the day, the TradeHouse team, we move together inside the markets and outside of the marketplace. And I'm just so grateful for this community, because really what it's taught me is that it doesn't matter where you're from, what your age is, what you believe. At the end of the day, we all kind of want the same thing. We want to be able to live good, to feel good, to grow, to learn, to elevate, to laugh, to love, to be around good people. And TradeHouse, I firmly believe, offers a space for anybody to be able to participate. So I'm excited to be here with each and every single one of you. And what I want to do now is I want to pass it over to my brother Valentino. He's going to share a little bit more about what it looks like for when we actually move out of this free trial phase, and for how it is that you're going to be able to stay connected and some of the things that we prepared for you.
Oh, what's good? What's good, guys? Honestly, I don't know about y'all, but I'm freaking excited, man. Like, I haven't been this excited about something in a really, really long time when it comes to the space, when it comes to the industry that we are in, when it comes to trading, right? It's crazy because we're building this from the ground up. And in our previous platform where we were educating, I actually was able to be there from the very beginning, right? From the beginning stages, seeing everything that it grew into, seeing us having to figure things out. Like, it's so crazy to see where we are now, starting something new, completely different chapter. Honestly, not even a different chapter, completely different book, right? And the information that we have and that we've been able to gain over the years. But when I started in the previous platform that we were educating on, I remember paying $500. I know a lot of you guys got in later on. I'm not sure exactly what timeline a lot of you guys that are on the call here today got started when you guys got exposed to the TradeHouse. But I got started towards the beginning and I paid $500. Imagine paying $500, right, to have access to something where you're wanting to learn how to trade, but no one knows anything yet except for the founder, right? No one knows anything. No one has the information on what models you should be using for entry or to find a setup, all the things that you guys have been able to see in this free trial period, some of the information that you guys have been able to tap into. We had none of it, right? Smart money wasn't even on our radar, right? I remember seeing the live sessions first come into play through Twitch, right? Mike Miles being the very first go live educator. It's like that wasn't even a thing, you know, we paid this money, and it was like the value that was there, it really wasn't much there, but I have no regrets at all, because the journey of figuring things out, it's what grew us into what we are now. It connected me to the Trade House. It connected me to the people and the other speakers that you guys were able to hear from today. And you know, the mentor that I look up to when it comes to this space that you guys are going to be able to hear from later on this call. So no regrets at all, but it was all figuring it out. And so to be able to now redo this and have a say on how we want it to be, how we want it to form, what we want it to look like. It's something that I'm super excited for, because I know the education that I've learned over the years, what it's been able to do for hundreds and thousands of people, the results that you guys have been able to see, us building this from the ground up. Like, this is going to be, in my opinion, the legacy platform that we originally thought we already had. And I think this is going to be something that we're going to really be able to see grow into something really beautiful, just because you guys are seeing the early stages now. And like Zach said, even though the startup, you know, it's a startup, the education is not startup education, right? Before, it was like everything was a startup. The education was a startup, the platform was a startup, and the price was here. So I'm excited to show you guys the value that you guys are going to be able to get, right? Zach showed you guys a little bit of the value that y'all are going to be able to get. But the question here is, what is it going to cost for access? What is it going to cost for access to the value that the Trade House has, that we've been able to give you guys over the years, to continue to receive that value, right? What is it going to cost to continue to have the proximity, to continue to further your education, which is important, because at the end of the day, right, you gotta put in the reps, and you gotta pay to play, right? That is really, at the end of the day, for myself, you got to have some type of skin in the game. Some of you guys might be new and you're on demo, right? Some of you guys might be seasoned traders and you're actually risking your real money in the markets. But you got to have skin in the game in some type of way. And I know for myself, that $500 that I paid at the very beginning to be thrown into something where it was like, yo, we're all trying to figure this out together, it turned into something that I'm truly, truly grateful for. So this is like the evolved version, right? That's how I see this. This is the evolved version. So the access, guys, it's gonna be a small price of $1 billion. $1 billion worth of value, okay, that you guys are gonna be able to have access to. So we're gonna pull this up here, because we decided to do this a little differently than how it was previously, because we do want you guys to be able to have access to more value for less. Okay. So if you can, perfect. Cool. Perfect. So we did decide that we wanted you guys to have access to more value for less. Now, it's not going to cost $1 billion, but it is $1 billion worth of value when it comes to the live sessions, when it comes to the applications, the scanner that's being built out as we speak, when it comes to the community, right, that you guys have been able to experience just within the free trial period. I would pay that $500 over and over and over. And I do know that the original vision was to be able to make the markets accessible to the general public. And that $500 price, which was in 2016, was worth it then. We're now here in 2025. Inflation is way higher than 2016. So the value that you guys are getting for the price here, $185, $200 is going to be the starting cost for the first month if you guys act early. Okay. Now, we are going to share something. We're going to share the link for you guys to be able to get started. But before we do, I do want to put it out there, and I want you guys to know that you guys are going to have access to the TradeHouse educators regardless of who you start with. Okay. You guys are going to have access to the TradeHouse educators, myself, Jordan, the whole gang, regardless of who you get started with. And so if you're already currently plugged into a group, a community, and you know they're going to be working with us, then start with them. You know, if you don't have anyone to plug into, you don't have a community, then you guys are welcome to start with us for $200 if you act early, like I said. Now, if you decide to move a little slow, right, then it's going to cost $250 for the VIP access to start and $250 for the first month of the all access pass to start as well. Okay. So for the month of June, it's only going to be $200. So me, when I see this, you guys are lucky. That's how I feel. Right. Siva, he's one of those ones that got to really, like, Siva's a perfect example of one of the ones that got to start and get started with the right information from jump. You know, so you guys are going to have that same similar opportunity here with this new platform where you guys are going to be able to get started for $200, right? A pair of shoes, right? An exquisite night out to eat, right? $200, okay? For the month of June. Now, let's say someone decides to start after June, because once June is up, that promo is done. What does the VIP access give you? The VIP access, one thing that was mentioned was the TradeHouse trips and the TradeHouse experiences. That is what that is going to give you guys access to. So if you decide that you want to be a VIP member, then that extra money is going to go towards you being able to get a ZiNRAi point. And every month that you're active, it's going to add up towards the end of the year so that you guys can go ahead and plug into and have that close proximity for a TradeHouse trip. Okay, for an incentive trip that you guys are going to be able to go on. It's going to be included in the VIP access pass. Now, that's personally what I would recommend, because being in the room is important, right? Being able to be in the room is very, very important, because that's what I can say. That was where it changed for all of us. I know Siva, a bunch of other people, Cash, when they first came to the TradeHouse, myself as well, back in like 2018 when we first got on Smart Money, that was the huge turning point for myself. And so personally, I think the $250 is well worth it. I think if it was $500, it would be well worth it, because you guys get to actually rub arms with us and other educators that you guys are going to be learning from here on the platform. Okay. When you're in the room and you have that close proximity where you guys can ask the questions, you guys can have the experience of what it's like to be around real traders, right? What it's like to pick our brain, you know, in person. That alone is worth, to me, thousands, right? People pay thousands of dollars to have a one-day seminar to learn from someone in person. So to pay $250 a month for a VIP access pass and you guys get to have fun with us, right? We just were out in Europe. I got to see a lot of you guys out in Europe and we had a great time. To be able to have those type of experiences, to me, is absolutely priceless. To be able to connect with you guys, to answer you guys' questions, and to build more of a relationship. The VIP pass is going to be what you're going to want to go with. Okay. Now, we did decide to keep the 2 and free. So to be clear, the all access is going to give you guys the platform, the apps, the scanners, and then that VIP pass is going to give you that extra VIP access to the in-person thing we decide to do when it comes to the trips and the TradeHouse experiences. And we did decide to keep the 2 and free for both of these, because the 2 and free was able to help, you know, it's something that helped a lot of people on our previous platform from what I was able to see. It's like when you get started with the Trade House. You get started with whatever community you decide to plug into. And you bring a friend, right? You bring someone that you know is also wanting to learn how to trade. You bring someone that you know is also not yet understanding the markets, but they want to. They want the financial literacy. They want to understand how to get these what is drawdown entries. They want to understand the Wyckoff, methods that we teach on the streams and everything like that. To be able to do that with other people, it keeps you guys in a tighter circle, keeps you guys able to hold each other accountable. So the 2 and free was not just something that helped people financially to be able to save on paying that monthly tuition, but it's something that I personally looked at as like an accountability system where I saw people plug in people, whether they knew them personally or whether they met them online, and they were able to really create a tight circle to hold each other accountable, to plug into the sessions, to do the work, to put in the work, right? To actually backtest, to plug into the sessions, to do the work that is required to actually become a profitable trader over time, right? Or to actually hold each other accountable when it comes to the different psychological challenges that are going to be there in the market. That 2 and free is not only going to give you the access to the platform for as long as they're active, but in my opinion, it's going to also give you guys people to work with and run with, and to create a unit, kind of like how we've done here at the Trade House. Like, you guys see that everything that we've been able to do and that we've done over the last couple of years, we've done together, and that's never going to change, right? We keep the unit together. Like Rock mentioned, there was things where people tried to offer certain things to break up the unit, but really being able to do this together over the years is what's made us stronger, what's made us better in the markets, what's made us better psychologically in the markets, and just honestly, mentally, physically, as people. Siva mentioned in the beginning how Rock put him on to, really, fighting and just working on health more and being able to work out. Like, having that unit and having those people that you're going to run with is very, very important. So 3 people, you're 2, that's going to give you free access for as long as they continue to be active on the platform. Okay. Now, this price here that you guys see, I'm going to share the link for you guys to get started. Okay. And let's see Siva here. Or Siva, you can drop it in here as well. Okay.
Yeah, he already did it.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah, 'cause I know the how do I trade one may or may not. All right, cool. So you already did that one. Perfect. So that's going to be the link for you guys to go ahead and plug in and get started. Now, like I said, if you already know that you're working with someone, you guys are going to have access to us regardless. We're educating for the entire platform. Whether you're directly with us, you guys are going to be able to reach out to us for questions. You guys are going to be able to reach out to us for the mentorship, plug into the live streams. So we don't need people trying to jump over to us if you know that you already have an active community that you're going to be working with or that you were previously working with. Okay. Because regardless, we're going to open our education to everyone in the entire platform. All right. So I'm super excited for what it is that we're building here together, guys. I'm going to pass it off to the next speaker here, someone who you guys have been able to see a lot more of lately, and you guys are going to be able to see a lot more of going forward. He is a big player when it comes to what we've been able to do here as a team. He is someone that I've been able to learn from tons when it comes to the crypto space, when it comes to the trading space, and when it comes to just understanding finances in general, right? How to move money, how to actually move money and do things in the way that wealthy people do. He's someone that you guys are going to continue to learn from. And I am super excited for what it is that we've been talking about that we're going to put together here, because, there's some other things that we do have in the works that are not going to necessarily be talked about just yet. But I'm going to let him pretty much go over everything else here when it comes to what we have for people that like the building side of things, for people that like to leverage their money in the markets, because that's what this was originally was about. Like, one thing that Mike mentioned, that was a big issue, was the trading versus building, and people don't really understand that they can go hand in hand. And he's someone that really opened my eyes to that, because he's someone that truly leverage the platform in the way that I feel like it was meant to where you plug your people in, you get them results, and then you get more results for yourself to generate more cash flow, to then funnel that cash flow into assets. So I'm going to pass it off to the man, the myth, the legend, no longer a ghost because he's been showing face, Mr. Jordan Morgan. Let's get it.
Can y'all see me? Man, oh man. All right, let's see where my brain takes me for a second, because I have a lot of built up feelings with everything. And I'm going to do my best to get it out in the most professional way possible. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Jordan. And, about 10 years ago, I joined some magical company only because I wanted to learn to trade. And I already knew that this skill set worked because I had a successful individual in my family that already did it. And, did I have any idea at all what this would lead, me down this path? No. But the one thing that I did know is I was very obsessed and very confident in learning this skill set. Now, fast forward through the whole timeline, the one thing that I can tell you, especially with working directly with us, is you're going to think so different because you have to. We're playing in this player versus player environment. You're playing against the richest, most ruthless, big individual people, the smartest people in the world. And there's a reason why the markets move the way they do. There's a reason why the world is set up in the way it is. And we can argue about that all day long. I got time, believe me. And that's what the TradeHouse really is it's a group of individuals that understand how this world is truly set up, because there's no such thing as coincidence. And that is the framework, that is the skeleton that we will give each and every single one of y'all. Your thinking will be changed. Your pattern recognition skills will increase, and you will start really seeing how this world is set up in a whole different lens. It is a magical thing. You cannot tell me 10 years later that this does not work. You can't. It's impossible. It is very impossible. I just can't see it in any other way. It works. It might take a little longer for some people because everyone has an interpretation of price. You look at it differently. You hear me joke about it all the time. I've been studying order books, and I guess you could say price action, since I was a little kid in video games. The one video game I always give it back to is RuneScape. If maybe you've heard about it, maybe you didn't. but I really think it caused a lot of breakthroughs and learning about things very fast. I truly think meeting Mike Miles contributed to this thinking, because if it wasn't from him, I probably would have been stuck in a common thought process on how the world is, just like most people are. You know, we're groomed from the beginning to be in the same exact system. The educational system is developed in the same way. It is all done. This whole world is set up on how it's supposed to be, because these same individuals control the narrative for thousands of years and it has not changed. And these are the people that we're playing against in the markets. It is the reason why when you go to Google and Google is controlled by an algorithm, it pushes you to the information they want you to know. And no way around that. That's how it is. So I'm super excited. I'm sure y'all can tell because I've never really showed myself on camera. I've never been on social media posting stories and talking to the camera, because I'm super confident this works. I'm so excited to share it with everybody. And I really, really hope that you can just feel the energy, because it is so different. But I really want to show you something. You know, this is really something that I had no idea, and I still have and I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat any of it. I'm gonna be truly real with this. You know, I've always had a love-hate feeling towards this word, towards these kind of setups. But because of one side, it is the grooming, upbringing way, because all it is a different business model. That's all it is. Instead of companies wasting money into commercials, into billboards, into ads. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched a commercial on TV, especially the last time I watched a commercial on TV and it sold me into something. But I could tell you so many times, I can tell you so many things that I've had somebody say, yo, you should try this. It works. You know, the other day I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about some Nero gum that had caffeine in it. And I was like, oh, you know, he's not affiliated with it at all. He's just talking about it. He loves the product. So what did I do? I went and bought it, and it's an amazing piece of gum. You should try it. You know? But like I said, I have this industry, that word, network marketing, multi-level marketing. It brings out the worst kind of people, in my opinion. It does. But can you really imagine a place that did not gatekeep any information, that gave it to everybody, because all we want is for people to win? You know, I was told a long time ago to not teach everyone everything, because out of fear of people deactivating their memberships. I was taught that. I was told to do that. Did I listen? No. Y'all know if I would listen or not. But obviously I haven't, because everyone that's been following us for so many years, y'all know we give you the source of everything we figure out, we find, we learn from. We don't gatekeep anything. And guess what? That certain individual that told me that information, that is not how it went at all. It is the complete opposite. People did not deactivate their subscriptions. They kept running with us, because when you see progress, when you see progression, when you see results, you're motivated, you're excited, just like I am, and you continue to move forward. That is something that I really wish I had access to in the very beginning. You know, I'm just like Iffy, just like Mike, you know, really just like Zach and Rock too. When we first entered in this space, We didn't have access to countless streams, countless hand-holding. We didn't have all of this raw material just given to us like, oh, it works. We didn't have that. We had to go find it. We had to go practice, demo trade, push buttons, experience, get our face kicked in, get punched in the mouth, get back up, get scammed, try again. Scamming is such a big part of this niche. It is absolutely mind-boggling. Some of these people are. It is crazy. And can you just imagine for a second, just imagine an actual place to where you can really feel confident that there actually is progress happening, progression, results, progression, constantly moving forward. It's working. And just imagine that with me for a second. Because in a perfect world, if everybody felt the same way that I did, that I do right now, if everyone felt this way, you would be confident to talk to anybody about this skill set because you know hands down that it works. You would be confident enough to share your face on social media, to talk to anybody because you know how confident and how much it works. You can't shake confidence. You can't tell somebody it doesn't work when it works for them. Now, everyone has their little traumas that they've gone through and their upbringings in life. And it takes time to shift people's mentalities. It does. Some people won't give it that thought. Some people won't give it that long enough time to have that clarity shift. Some people it takes multiple attempts. Some people can't take getting punched in the mouth and get back up. That's just how it is. But the difference between you and I is you're actually surrounded by a group of individuals who have walked the walk, talked the talk, seen results, seen all the mistakes in this niche, seen all the scammers come and go, seen what should happen, what shouldn't happen. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. I truly do. Everything that happened had to have happened to put us in this position, just in the form of experiencing. We've been able to experience. Y'all know how I talk about all the time. I can't teach you experience. I can teach you everything else, but only you can experience alongside us for that time. We can't teach it. You got to give yourself time. You got to give yourself experience. But if you were handheld throughout this whole journey, I truly believe it would click for you faster than it clicked for any of us, because there's so many people that have track records that aren't photoshopped, long-term track records that are real, not lies, none of that. That's a very big problem in this niche. And we've done it. We can show you how to do it too. And can you imagine if you felt like I did, how confident you would be to share it with a couple individuals to get the 2 and free package? Or do you go the same path that I accidentally did in 2017 and 2018 and 2019 and 2020, accidentally hitting Chairman 100, which pays out, you can only imagine, 100, 000 monthly by accident. It just happens. When you have a bunch of momentum and a bunch of people feeling the exact same way as Jordan feels right now, you can't stop us. You can't stop us. You can't stop results actually happening. You can't stop that feeling. And when there's a ton of people that feel the exact same way, and when you trust me on the fact that I say, I can't tell you the last time a billboard sold me on something, a commercial sold me on something, an ad popping up on my screen sold me on something, but my friends sell me all the time on stuff because I trust them. I trust what they have to tell me. They're good people. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and just see what happens. And so can you imagine a bunch of people doing the same thing? Tens of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. I'm telling you, when the train starts and everyone is seeing the same progress and results, it does not stop. And I truly believe that there's a lot more when it comes to fusing a Forex company and a network marketing together, especially if you favor the trading company side. And the company just so happens to have an insane compensation plan attached to it. You just can't stop that. And so this is my first time ever seeing something like this. It is crazy. So I hope you can see it in front of you. This is something that I had no idea it existed when I went through my 3-leg building process, because this right here really puts teamwork together. And you're only having to slide people on 2 sides of a business. Now, this is something you don't have to do. It's irrelevant. It does not matter. We're going to win in trading anyway. Money's going to print anyway. But the thing is when you get excited and you start talking, because guess what? That's what excitement does, is you just start rambling on and talking to people. Things start happening, like accidentally hitting Chairman 100. So, as you can see at the very top, just imagine after you get past the point of enrolling 2 people and getting your subscription free, and you start getting excited, and your friends start getting excited, and whoever else, the strangers that enroll with you, get excited too. They share it, and you start climbing down the ranks. 12 people together, 6 on 6 on each side, that pays $600 a month. 20 people on one side, 20 people on the other side, that pays $1,250 a month. I know so many people around the world that would $600, $1,250, $2,500 a month is life-changing. This skill set in general is life-changing. I'm not going to go all the way down because it's irrelevant. But when you feel like I do, and you understand that this is just a business model, that's all it is, you can just really see how that belly to belly talking to your friend about something and they magically can't tell you it doesn't work. Because guess what? Others will believe you, others will enter, and others will see that this really does work. But like I said, this is all optional. It really doesn't matter to me if you do it or not. This is just life-changing. I wish this was how it was in the last one. This is crazy. This really is. I think this is the easiest thing ever, especially when you're actually favoring a trading side first. So can you imagine in a perfect place to where progress is happening, trading results are happening, people all feel the same way, and there's just a stampede of momentum happening with a ton of people pushing towards the same thing. So I cannot wait to see you on the inside of this system. The system is going to be crazy. This movement is already crazy, and it's just going to get more and more nuts. So I do want to throw it back to Zachary to really break down some of the questions that y'all are asking on what ZiNRAi really means.
Well, everybody, this is ZiNRAi. At the core, trading, learning the skill set, allowing ourselves to elevate within the industry has always been what the Trade House is focused on. And why we align with ZiNRAi is because, like the excitement that we're all feeling right now, yeah, I can make it bigger for you. the excitement that we're feeling right now. Really, I mean, I've spent a lot of time thinking about how to even express some of the things that I'm feeling. But at the end of the day, ZiNRAi, it's an acronym for some of the key principles that the TradeHouse gang has stuck at the forefront since we first aligned. We want to live with passion. We want to lead with purpose. And the mission, as always, is to cultivate a culture of character, collaboration, and innovation, really equipping the people inside of our community with the ability to lead from the front, to push through with resilience, and to ultimately move closer to living in abundance, whatever that might look like for you. We're going to continue to pursue this mission day after day. And we're going to do our best to uphold what's right. Even though it's hard, it's not always easy, we really value the trust that you put into us, which is why we do this at the end of the day. So we're going to continue to act with honor. We're going to continue to do our best to elevate each and every single one of you inside of this community. We're going to face those challenges together head on. And we see your potential. We know what's possible. The growth, the impact, the contribution, it starts with you. But the best thing is that it extends so much further than you. Imagine what it looks like as these skills get passed on to your family, to your community. And when you approach things with that abundance mindset, realizing that there's more than enough to go around. At the end of the day, we're here to innovate. We're here to evolve. We're here to really change the game. And we're here to stay true to the principles and the foundation of why we started. So thank you all so much for being here on this call today, whether you're joining us live or whether you checked out the recording. If you have questions, feel free to get back with whoever shared this with you, or feel free to just ask inside of the TradeHouse chat. And I look forward to seeing you inside of the community. Much love, everybody. Once again, thank you.